I was in a hospital 13 days, and maybe it was 2 days before I was to go home. The doctors were happy that I was leaving. There was one new doctor, a young lady, and when she came in and said, "Yeah, DeWayne, we hear you're going home and everything," I said, y'all glad I'm gone? She goes, "You know, DeWayne, I'm going to miss you." I said, "You are?" She goes, "Yeah." She goes, "You asked very in-depth questions. I'm doing more research now into some of these. We should know the answers to these questions." But she was a young doctor and therefore a little bit more open to wanting to acquire new knowledge. And that same day, the nurse came in and said, "DeWayne, here's the regimen that you're going to have to follow in terms of your drug treatment when you get home. 4 insulin shots a day, Coumadin twice a day, Lipitor twice a day." I said, "Okay." I said, who's going to give me the shots?" She goes, "You're going to inject yourself with insulin 4 times a day." I said, "No, you didn't hear me. I'm afraid of needles. In fact, in the hospital, whenever they gave me a shot or something, I always turned the other way." And the nurse said, "Well, DeWayne, we can have a home nurse come by your house." I said, "Hey, all right. I love it." She goes, "That will cost you $100 a visit." So I'm thinking, $100 a visit, $400 a day, $12,000 a month. I ain't got that kind of money. I made pretty good money as an engineer. I made pretty good money for doing nothing. But I didn't make that kind of money. So DeWayne McCulley learned how to stick himself with that needle. And Cynthia, to this day, I keep forgetting to ask her, "How did you get a hold of my credit cards and how did you buy all this equipment?" Because when I got home, she had my glucose meter, she had the lancets, the test strips, she had a lab set up, trays and everything, and syringes. I'm going, man. And I told Cynthia that if I had been alone, I would have rationalized and put it off for a couple of weeks, 2 weeks, maybe 3, maybe a month. But she wasn't having that. And I was too weak to argue with her. I think she enjoyed the fact that she could tell me what to do. To make matters worse, she hid my dessert bowl. She ain't gonna admit that, but she or my mother, one of them, hid I had a special bowl, people. It's a dessert bowl. I called it my Super Bowl. And in my Super Bowl, I would prepare about a pint of ice cream, usually Breyer's vanilla bean. On top of that, I would put a slice of Mrs. Smith apple pie. And then I would balance that with 3 brownies. I would place that in the oven, the microwave. Yeah, I know. And nuke it for 17 seconds. That's very important, 17 seconds. And when I took it out of that microwave, it was like, ooh, that apple pie is like Mama made it. It smells so good. And then I would wait exactly maybe about 32 seconds for it to kind of cool down. And then I would place Diet Dream Whip on top of the ice cream. Now the Diet Dream Whip was very important. And because that dessert was 1,732 calories. The Diet Dream Whip saved me over 45 calories. And my daughter hid my cookies. I don't know whether she hid them or whether she threw them away. Still don't know what she did. And then when my mother arrived with my sister Margot. Now you would think I almost died. My mother walks into my house and I'm waiting for the hug. Instead, she looks at me and she goes, "You look bad. What have you done to yourself, boy?" And that's what my mother and my father called us when we didn't do something right. Boy. And so she and my sister went right for the kitchen. And my mother started taking the food out of the refrigerator, out of the cupboards. My potato chips, my pizza pies, my apple pie, my cookies, my cakes, all the pretzels, my orange soda, all the good stuff. And I go, "Mom, what are you doing?" "We're taking it back to the store." And I said, "No, we're not." And my mother, she has a look. And my mother's a legend. And when she gives you the look, you just kind of go along with the program or you're going to peel yourself off the wall. So I said, "Okay, I'll go along with the program." And so we took all of my favorite food back to the grocery store. And since I always keep my receipts, that's just the way I am. Most of this, all the food had not been opened. And the grocery store, the clerk saw the 3 carts of food. And the store clerk says, "Excuse me, sir, is there a problem?" And I said, "Yeah, I got to return this food. I'm a diabetic and I can't eat this food anymore." She goes, "Is there something wrong with our food?" I said, No, I love your food. Your food is good. But you see the crazy woman behind me?" And so the store clerk looks, and she is my mother with this mean look. And the store clerk, I think she felt sorry for me. And she gave me a store credit of $267.37. I said, "Wow, I got $267. And my mother, because they put it on this little card, it's a shopping card, and they put it on electronically. My mother just took the card and proceeded to start shopping for broccoli, Brussels sprouts, spinach, every food that I hate. I said, "Mom, why are you buying these foods? You know I don't like these foods." And she didn't say anything, so I knew to just shut up. And I felt, okay, I'll go along with the program for a couple of weeks because she can't stay here forever. And they got to go back home. My daughter got to go back home. Margot got to go back. They all got to go back to their jobs. So I know I only got a couple of weeks. I can hang in there. But that wasn't the end of it. When we got home from the shopping, I was tired because of the damage that had been done to my legs, which they were going to amputate. That's another story. But my legs were very tired, so I went upstairs to take a nap. When I came back downstairs, in the kitchen sink were 4 half-gallon containers of Breyer's vanilla bean ice cream, melting. I said, whoa, Mom, whoa, that isn't cheap ice cream. That's the expensive ice cream. Why are you allowing it to melt in the kitchen sink? She goes, "Son, we needed room in the freezer for the broccoli, the Brussels sprouts, and the spinach. Something had to go." And I counted to 10. I said, "Okay, I only got 2 more weeks of this." In the meantime, I was asked to see a dietitian. I didn't want to go see the dietitian because I don't believe in dietitians. I don't believe there's anything they're going to tell me that's going to help me. But my mother made me go see the dietitian. So I walked into the office, and there was this woman at a table, and she was a rather large woman. I would say close to 450 pounds, a woman. And I said, excuse me, I'm here to see the dietitian, and I'm thinking she's the secretary or something. She goes, I'm the dietitian. And I started laughing. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's funny. Oh, yeah, oh, that's funny. She goes, I don't get it. What's so funny? Oh, nothing. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, so you're going to help me, because at that time I needed to lose around 55 to 70 pounds. And she said, yes, I'm going to put you on my program. I said, may I ask a question? She goes, yes, sure. Are you on that program? She goes, well, what does that have to do with anything? I said, I'm just curious what program you're following. She goes, oh, my program is the best. I've been following my program for over 15 years. I said, this is 15 years. So they gave me a diet plan that I tried to follow, but it didn't work. I kept getting fatter. I was taking insulin 4 shots a day, and I wasn't getting any better. And I would talk to my doctor, and he would say, DeWayne, you got to just keep following the program, and so forth and so on. My mother decided that I'm going to be eating Brussels sprouts for breakfast. And I said, you must be crazy. And my mother just stood there. Okay, Mom, all right. Because it was easier just to give in than to listen to my mother complain. And so I ate the Brussels sprouts. Funny thing happened. For the first time, my post-meal blood glucose level actually went down. Now, my average glucose level at that time when I got out of the hospital was still in the 400s. But of course, 400 is still a lot better than 1300. And for them to try to get it below 200, they were going to go to the 5th insulin shot, but I didn't want to go to 5 shots. And so I called my doctor and I said, yeah, Doc, you're not going to believe this, but my blood glucose level actually came down 75 points post-meal compared with my previous readings. And he said, well, DeWayne, that's an anomaly. Until we give you more medication, there's nothing that you can do that's going to lower your blood glucose level. I said, then why am I following your program? Well, DeWayne, that's going to prevent you from having another attack. And I said, oh, okay. So after I talked to him, my mother asked me, what did the doctor say? Well, I didn't want to tell my mother that the doctor disagreed with her, because then I'm caught in the middle. So I didn't say anything. I decided I'm going to keep eating these Brussels sprouts until my blood glucose level goes back up. Number one, it'll shut up my mother. And number two, I'll have something to tell the doctor. So I ate Brussels sprouts for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, for 7 straight days. And each day, my average post-meal